Hello, my name is Blake Patterson, and welcome to Real Values. On this week's episode, I discuss the best films of 2025. Although I did not see every film from last year, there were several films I enjoyed that were worth considering when creating this list. Now, here are a few honorable mentions. Bring Her Back, Hamnet, No Other Choice, Preparation for the Next Life, and Twinless. Number 10, Marty Supreme. Although it is not as rewatchable as Good Time and Uncut Gems, Josh Safdie has made an exhilarating and subversive sports movie about American individualism and the masculine ego through Timothée Chalamet's emotionally charged performance. From the grit of its heightened realism to the electronic score, Marty Supreme is the kind of post-New Hollywood film that would have been released by a studio like Geffen Pictures or the Ladd Company in the 80s. Of the sports films that have been made about troubled men, Marty Supreme might be the most honest, critical study of masculinity since Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull. Number 9, On Swift Horses. It still baffles me that I am one of the few people on the planet who loves Daniel Minahan's On Swift Horses, a queer melodrama in the spirit of Todd Haynes's Far From Heaven. The film carefully explores the experiences of two queer characters trying to navigate a heteronormative society through the people they grow to love and those they fear. From its sublime performances to the elegance of its direction, On Swift Horses captures the pain, uncertainty, confusion, and longing of what it is like to be queer. Number 8, The Mastermind. Like Marty Supreme, Kelly Reichardt's The Mastermind also focuses on the theme of American individualism through a male character, but plays it in the low-key subversive manner we expect from Reichardt. Proving to be one of his generation's best actors, Josh O'Connor excels in his portrayal of a man who has gone from being an art school graduate to a man so deeply involved in his destructive behavior that he rarely thinks outside the box. By building her character study around a heist, Reichardt has redefined and re-energized the heist genre in the same way that Jim Jarmusch and Robert Altman did with the Western genre in Dead Man and McCabe and Mrs. Miller. Number 7, Sentimental Value. Of the foreign language films I saw last year, Joachim Trier's Sentimental Value satisfied me the most in its meticulous consideration of the characters, compositions, themes, and settings. It was one of the few highly acclaimed films last year that deserved all the praise it received due to its emotionally nuanced performances and the honest, empathetic writing. In this portrait of family dysfunction and generational trauma, Trier incorporates tropes we have seen before in other movies, but reapplies them in a way that is unique to him and refreshing for us. Number 6, Sorry Baby. Considering many recent films I have seen about my generation, one reason why Eva Victor's Sorry Baby was such an exemplary film was that it treated my generation maturely rather than reducing them to stereotypes you expect from older people who are out of touch. The movie was also remarkable in how it created a unique structure that allowed Victor to explore grief and trauma beautifully. Through every humorous and heartbreaking moment, Sorry Baby established Victor as a promising auteur for the medium's future. Number 5, Blue Moon. The irony of my love for Richard Linklater's Blue Moon was how I knew very little about Loren's heart, but walked away thinking that I was him in a past life. Change a few characteristics and I am basically him in a modern sense. Another reason why Blue Moon was so special was that it masterfully considered and executed the kind of sophisticated humor that is difficult to pull off without becoming cartoonish, which was why everyone involved, especially Ethan Hawke at his best, should be proud of the hilarious and heartbreaking queer film they have made. Number 4, One Battle After Another. Of the mainstream releases that came out last year, none packed as much of a punch as Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, especially in IMAX. From the committed performances to every artfully considered composition, One Battle After Another was the closest a filmmaker has come to creating a satirical yet genuine reflection of America in the Trump era that manages to humanize its characters as much as playfully critiquing their ideas and behavior. Beyond its socio-political relevance, One Battle After Another is a solidification of Anderson's status as one of the modern masters in every decision he makes creatively. Number 3, Splitsville. Of the great films I saw last year, Splitsville was a movie so poorly marketed that it should have had as much of a following as the usual comedies you expect, especially with Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler. Here was an effortlessly funny and endearing comedy about the anxieties and complications of polyamory that made me laugh continuously and kept me smiling for hours afterward. For all its absurdist humor, Splitsville was also a sincere effort with genuine moments that were built organically within its comedic framework. Number 2, Die My Love. You may ask if I was surprised by how many people hated this movie when it was released. Not really. Even beyond the type of filmmaker Lynn Ramsey is, there was no way many people were going to love Die My Love due to its intense and figurative design. When you are asking the viewer to think while also making them anxious, they might not be willing to go along with the ride. That said, Die My Love was absolutely for me in every wildly audacious choice Ramsey and her cast, especially Jennifer Lawrence, made in this film that had echoes of A Woman Under the Influence, Repulsion, and Rosemary's Baby, but went in its own unique direction. And number 1, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. One external aspect that surprised me when I realized that Mary Bronstein's If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You was my favorite film of the year was how it premiered at Sundance rather than one of the bigger film festivals. Generally speaking, my favorite film of the year usually premieres in Cannes, Venice, or Telluride. However, what Bronstein created was the rare Sundance movie, a darkly funny but intensely human portrait of a maternal crisis that deserved to be ranked in the same league as other films that have delved into the surreal depths of a character's psychology. With Rose Byrne giving the performance of her career, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You is the kind of masterpiece where its intensity deepens as it evolves and leaves you simultaneously haunted and exhilarated. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great night.